Good morning, everybody. Welcome along. Today is Tuesday. It's the 25th of January 2022. It's your 8 a.m. movement snack. If you're on catch-up, then pop us a comment in and let us know you've been in. Firstly, I always like to say that, because I like to know what's going on in everybody's life. I'm nosy. But pop us a little comment in, and also, if this isn't the one you want, they're on our Facebook group. That's the easiest way to find them. You pop on our Facebook group, you go to your photos tab, or media and then videos, and it will show you everything in the most recent order, so you've not got to go scooting through the whole page to find it, you see. Look out for the changes in shirts sometimes as well, that helps you find stuff. Anyway, listen, pop us a comment in, let us know you've been in, let us know that you've found it useful, hopefully. This is our 8 a.m. movement snack. I'm going to pop across and say hello to people as they come on board live now. So I can see Mrs. P is first in the house this morning. How the devil are you, Mrs. P? Christine down in Port Talbot. A good morning to you, a very good morning to you, and a very good morning to everybody else from Christine as well. Jane Andrews, good morning. I've not seen you online live, Jane. I think I keep missing you. I don't think it's that you're not there. I think I just keep missing you. Good morning, Jane. Good to have you with us. How the devil are you? Hope things are good. Probably haven't seen your name pop up. That's what it is. It's one of those things, isn't it? Anyway, what else we got? Come on. 5 of you. Who's hiding? Who's hiding in the background, do you think? Who's that there? Look. Oh, it's Gillian Hillier is coming in as well from a dry day in Port Talbot. Dry here as well. Overcast. I said it was grey and murky yesterday. Do you know, it turned out to be a good day. No rain, no moisture on the floor. So, because I was pleased, because I cleaned my car. I spent ages cleaning my car on Sunday. I thought, right, that's it. First trip over to Rugby, and it's going to be filthy again. Just like it was the week before. But no, it was all right. So, good morning to Margaret Wood as well. Cold, cloudy morning in Chesterfield. Bex, maybe we should coordinate shirt changes. I'm sure that would tip our confusion over the edge. Tell me it would. I have them lined up in the this is how bad it is, right? Okay, they are lined up on hangers in my wardrobe, so I can go white, black, blue, white, black, blue, white, black, blue. And then if ever I do a double, it's like, oh god, do I change my shirt again today, or do I keep the same one? I don't know, but sometimes it goes out the window. Oh, terrible. Too many things going on to think about coordinating shirts as well, Bex. Blimey. George, good morning to you. Burns Day. Happy Burns Day to everybody. Are you having your neeps and tatty with your haggis tonight, George? And are we taught to a tot of whiskey, perhaps? Sorry for my awful Scottish attempt at a Scottish accent. Jane Andrews, always try and come in when I can, but life is busy. I know, Jane, I wasn't suggesting that anything at all. I was just saying it's lovely to see you. It's nice to see names pop up, Sandra, how the devil are you? Busy day again. Ready to rush out the door. What do you have to do there? Busy. I'm going to rush to the gym. I'm going to go to the gym this morning. I've got a peaceful day today. Rushing to the gym this morning, back home, get a bit of paperwork done, do my dad's dinner, take that up, and then myself and Kay are off to the pantomime tonight. Yeah, it's a tradition we always do. We didn't do it last year because we couldn't, obviously. It was cancelled. We're doing it this year, bit of trepidation, but hey, let's give it a shot. Masks will be on, vaccination passport is there ready. We'll see how it goes out, shall we? What's that? It's behind me. Oh, no, they're not. Gillian Matthews, good morning to you. Francis McFarlane, good morning from Bristol. Sheila Day, part of the collective, is in. Woohoo! Sorry, no collective yesterday. Beach Babe was where you would expect her to be. And me and Andy were out for the day. Well, it's lovely to have the collective back in. Is Carol joining us today? I don't know. We'll find out in a minute, shall we? But it's good to have yourself and Andy with us this morning, Sheila. Manny Stranger, good morning to you. Vivian Dickinson, good morning to you. And everyone, dull, dark and damp, need a warm-up. We'll do it. Don't apologise for the accent. There are a number who actually speak like that. Thank you very much. We got a 3, 2, 1 from George. So let's lose the comments off the screen. And let's get ourselves going, shall we? All right, with a 3, 2, 1. Good morning, everybody. You're with Dave Montgomery from Later Life Training. Today is Tuesday. It's the 25th of January 2022, Burns Night. Welcome. This is your 8 a.m. movement snack. As always, it's about mobilisation. It's about circulation boosting. So let's get ourselves ready to go, shall we? Standing or seated? First choice. Up we come. So, If we're going standing or seated, we need to make sure we've got some stuff in place. Floor is clear. There's nothing that's going to cause us any issues as far as the floor is concerned. Fixed external support available to us. That is important to us as well. I've got my socks on so I can feel the floor beneath my feet, like the wind beneath my wings. But that's because I'm on a carpeted floor. So if you're on a hard floor, tiled, wood, whatever, sensible, comfortable footwear is the order of the day. If you're on a carpeted floor, you might want to try your socks and feel how those toes and the feet engage with the floor as they interact with us moving. Seated, we've got a good sturdy chair. Now, posture-wise, heels are in line with knees, knees are in line with hips. We lift and lengthen out from our hips to grow this a little bit taller. Shoulders come up, back, and we press them down to open this rib cage, get some more oxygen into there. Seated, excuse me, it's exactly the same, but what we need to do to start off with is bring our back away from the chair so we support the upper body. From there, lift and shift as we bring ourselves into the front third of the chair. Now, sat here, we can line everything up, and we can start with our circulation boosting. I'm just going to change the angle of the chair a little bit. Start with our circulation boosting. We start small, we make it bigger. So the small part of it is this heel raise. Coming up onto the ball of the foot, excuse me. I do apologise, a bit of a frog in the throat there. Going up onto the ball of the foot and creating that crease between the ball of the foot and our toes. Exactly the same in standing using our support. Now, making this bigger, we bring it into a march. Lifting the foot clear of the floor gives us an opportunity to point those toes down. Get some work happening into those ankles to start off with. That's what we want, some ankle mobility. And we focus on that in a minute, don't we? Remember, as always in seated, if you get a little bit of fatigue here, because these hips are working quite hard doing this, options, back into your heel raise or that diagonal toe tap forward. Pop an arm in as well, driving the elbow backwards, getting that good, functional, purposeful movement of that arm. Now, seated, standing, if we are not holding on, if we're not using support, we can just change hands. Every time we want to, we can just do it. But if we are using support, we've got a little couple of extra things to think about, haven't we? So the first one is hand down, hand off, if we've got the support in front of us. If it's to the side, a little bit more in it. Lose the arm, make the march a little bit smaller, so bring those marches down a little bit. Turning towards your support, taking as many steps as you need, and as you're turning, when you're facing your support, you've got both hands on, and then the other hand comes off, and then when you're ready, we're back into that bigger march on the other side. Finally, seated, standing, if you feel steady, stable, ready, coordinated, willing, able, longing for, any other adjective you want to throw at it, then both arms, both legs can come on in. Bigger movement, whole body moving, so now we've got more intensity asked of the body. So we're asking the heart to beat a little bit faster, we're asking our lungs to take a bit more oxygen in, so we're breathing a little bit faster perhaps, a little bit heavier. But that's what we want, that's what we need. We're going to get that oxygen around the body, in the blood, pumping it to the muscles, feeding those muscles with energy, warming them, warming the joints, warming and loosening those muscles and joints. Right, 2 minutes, 3 max. Start to bring this down. So let's take the arms back out, just let them come down to the side. Make the march a little bit smaller, bring it back into that pedal perhaps, that heel raise, and then come to a pause. At which point, a couple of deep breaths. We are set for our first set of trios. Remember, it's our trio of trios before 9 when we do the breakfast snack. Base of support. Let's go for a good base of support to start off with. So we've got our heels outside of our hips. They're in line with our shoulders. We're lifting and lengthening up and back, opening up that chest. We start with the shoulders. I'm going to come a little bit closer now. It's exactly the same in seated. We lift towards the ears and then we press back down. So trying to come past where we started. Trying to bring these shoulder blades down the back a little way, okay? So a lift and a press. 4 or 5 of those is what you're looking for. And remember, you might not have symmetry. You might have more movement on one side than the other, and that's fine. We can always do a little bit extra on that one side as a crowbar later on. Once you've done your 4 or 5, take a momentary pause, and then let's bring it into this forward roll of the shoulder firstly to start off with, and then up and back. So we bring the shoulders forward to start off with, and then we lift them up, take them back past our earlobes, shoulder blades together, and press back down. So we get that rotational movement happening. Taking it this way rather than the other, so we end up in that good postural position with the chest lifted, the shoulders back, and again 4 or 5 on each with each side, so you're doing both at the same time. But as I said, remember, if you've got some asymmetry, it might be later on you're going to focus on one side, in which case it's a case of making sure the other shoulder stays level with both your lifts and your rolls, so you get the best amount of movement out of it. Anything where we move the hands away from the body, arms away from the body, we've got the shoulders involved. Take a pause after that, and let's go into our head turn. Now, have support available even if you don't really need it. Turning our head can make us feel a little bit dizzy sometimes. So, chin stays level, eye line stays level, we turn to the side, we pause in the centre, and then we turn the other way. Now, this isn't a super slow thing, so it's not really, but it's not fast either. So we're not swinging the head round, we're going to take it round to the side, we're going to come back in and pause, and then the other way. And this little pause in the centre is really important, because that's the point at which we give the body a chance to resort itself, to balance itself out. We do feel a little bit dizzy. Turning that head can make us feel a little bit disorientated. So that little pause in the centre gives the system in our ears a chance to balance itself out. 4 or 5 quality ones on each side. And the thing here is, remember, same with all of these movements really, but specifically this one, you shouldn't feel any pain in your neck. So you're not trying to take it all the way around. We're not trying to do a horror film, yeah? Now, bear in mind, if you do have pain in your neck, you shouldn't have any more pain, because some of us do have pain in our neck quite regularly. So, no more pain or no pain. Once you've done 4 or 5 of those, take a pause, and we're heading into chin tuck time. It's biscuit tin chin time. All down onto the floor. There we go. Will you take this chin and this mobility exercise to be your partner for this morning? Yes? Good-o. Okay, so chin on your, finger on your chin as a guide only, all right? Oops. We're going to lengthen down the back here. So, have a look. Eye line stays level, and there's our movement. Now, we can either keep the fingers on the chin as a guide, or we can leave the fingers where they are. But remember, if we have them on our chin, we're not pushing, we're just guiding to make sure that this chin stays down. We don't want to do this movement, yeah? So, eye line level, draw back, feel the extra chin coming in, and then release forward. And what we're doing is we're stacking the head back on the top of the spine, back on its axis, lining everything up, getting that head in a line, so we're stopping the head from coming forward, or we're bringing the head back so it's not coming forward too much. If it comes forward, it drags the shoulders with us, shifts our centre of gravity. 4 or 5 of those is what you're looking for. Once you've done 4 or 5, we're back in to a march. Circulation boost for about 30 seconds. So use your support if you need it. In seated, remember you've got those options of the heel raise or the toe tap out diagonally. We're going to do 30 seconds, so we might be okay in seated with this. We're just giving that circulation a little bit of a boost before we move from our top trio down to our trunk trio. So, bring it to a pause again. Let's set ourselves up. Now, first thing here, let's get a really good base of support. Even if we're in seated, let's think about taking those feet out wide so they're in line with our shoulders. In seated, our bottom stays firmly on the chair with all of these movements, okay? We're not lifting buttocks at all. First movement is a side bend. Straight down, straight up with a pause in the centre, and then the other way. In standing, you can see, look, it is straight down as it is in seated and up. If we're using support, in front, we can change hand every time. If we're using the support to the side, then it's going to be into the support, pause in the centre, go back into your support and do 4 or 5 on that side, and then as many steps as you need to turn to face the other side. But we need to keep the body straight. So don't allow ourselves to come forward or backwards. It's not this movement, and it's not this movement. It's straight down, straight up. Think of yourself as a piece of toast. It's been toasted, popped out of the toaster, you know, pop it back in, give it a little bit more browning. It's like that, yeah? That's how we want to keep it. straight down, straight up. Use your legs as a guide, so the seam of your trousers or the leg of the chair will give you a guide to not only going straight, but also where are you getting to. And let's think about reaching down to get something off the floor, that pound coin from the side of the sofa. Those sorts of activities is where this move comes in. As I say, in seated, you keep your bottom firmly on the floor. As in standing, we keep those feet firmly on the floor. 4 or 5, take a pause. Let's hit the trunk twist, okay? Now, we've got that wide base of support. Let's really focus on having those knees slightly softened here. That's going to help us keep these hips still. So, if I just move that a little bit, there we go. And it probably doesn't, because it's black on black. I didn't really think that someone, did I? I have got blue socks on, but they look black. So, I'm all in black, really, apart from white right hand. Right, here we go. So, we're going to keep these hips still. Shoulders in line with our elbows, and we turn the upper body to the side. Pausing in the centre, and then turning the other way. Now, feet are staying firmly on the floor. Remember I said in seated, your bottom stays firmly on the seat. So if, as you're turning, you can feel your bottom lifting, you know you've got some movement. Likewise, with our side bends, if the support's to the side, into the support, back, and then to that support again. 4 or 5 there, turn. Hands can change if it's in front. Or how about using your support as a guide? So your bottom's on the chair, how about putting your bottom against your support? Or your hips against it in front? And then, as you do that trunk twist, we can feel if we've got movement. Is the bottom lifting? Are the hips lifting away from the table or the support in front of us? There's a feedback for us. Arms wise, what do we do with them? We're going to do whatever we want, really. Just try and keep the elbows in line with the shoulders, so we're not reaching around like this. It's getting all of this movement into here. You could bring them in front, you could take them here, you could hold them like this. They could even just be by the side. It doesn't really matter. The important thing is to focus into this bit here. Once you've done your 4 or 5, take a pause. We're heading into our back extension. Now, support to the side of us if we're going to use it. This is another one where we're going to keep our eye line level, so we're going to give ourselves a double chin again. Soften knees. We're lifting the chest and then we're extending. Okay, so it's not a huge movement. We're not leaning back. And we want to focus on this pelvis not tipping forward or backwards this time, okay? So we've got a lift of the chest and an extension back, and we'll feel this in our lower back. Now again, it might be in standing, you want to use your support as a reference point. As in seated, we've got the reference of how the bottom's touching that chair. Now this time we're going to make sure that the weight doesn't shift from front to back. But the same movement, look, and I've said this to you so many times. I prefer doing this one in a seated position, purely because I get the feedback from my body as to whether I've got movement in my hips. I don't have to think about it. I can switch off from that bit and I can focus on getting the best range of motion out of this. But you see how the eye line stays level? So we're not tipping back. We're staying level. We're lifting and then we're extending. And this is going to really help with any lower back pain. 4 or 5 is what you're looking for. Make them count. Quality ones. Don't race them, yeah? Once you've done your 4 or 5, come back in. Circulation booster, number 3, just the arms. Okay, and then we're going to head down into our final trio. So we've just got these arms moving, and you might want to make it a little bit bigger. Get some rotation into that upper body. Yeah, we've just worked that trunk area. Let's get it going. Okay, 30 seconds as I say. Arms, using your support if you need it. And once you've done your 30 seconds, bring it to a pause. I've got hiccups now. Excuse me. How can I have hiccups? I've only had a drink or two. I haven't even had anything to eat. Right. Support to the side of us. We're going into our ankle, feet and toes. It's not balance, it's mobility. So use it, all right? We want to get the best movement out of here. Leg that is closest to the support is staying still. The foot is flat on the floor. The knee is slightly bent. The other foot comes in next to it. Take your eye line to the front when you're ready. You might want to look the first time. Ankle and toe into the same place. And as you put your heel down, splay your toes. As you bring your foot over, scrunch them and then point the toe down. 4 or 5 on one side, turn into your support to change the other. In seated, we can do exactly the same. We just need to readjust the feet so we can get the movement in. But there we go, heel and toe in the same place. However, how about take a little scooch back, lift and shift backwards, extend the foot so it's just off the floor, only about an inch. Point the toes away, bring them in towards your shin. There's your heel toe movement. And again, here we can now scrunch the toes as we point away, and we can flex them as we bring it in. 4 or 5 on one side, change to the other. Now, I know again I say this all the time, but it's so important. As standing is not about balance, it's about getting the best range of motion out of your ankle. This is not about strength, so make sure it stays close down to the floor. Have a rest after every couple if you need to. Certainly don't allow that leg to drift up, yeah? Keep it down here, and as I say, if you need to have a rest after a couple, do. 4 or 5 on the one side, you change to the other side and you get your 4 or 5 on that side as well. And then in standing, to finish off, we can bring it into this heel toe motion here with this step through. That's why we're doing that heel toe motion. That's our walking motion. Now, if you did have socks on, could you feel how the toes were interacting with the floor? That's the question. It's amazing the first time I did this with just my socks on. Even if we just shift weight the first time we do it and realise actually those toes play such an important part. They're starting to grip the floor, and you might feel it in your footwear as well. They start to grip within the footwear to help you as far as your balance is concerned. And our ankles are really important mobility-wise because they play a crucial part in our stability, reacting to changes in the floor underneath us. There we go, that's us done. That is your 8 a.m. movement snack for this Tuesday, Burns night, the 25th of January 2022. Go forth, have a lovely day, stay active, stay mobile, keep crowbarring. If you're having a haggis, don't forget your neeps and tatties, and I'll see you tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. Goodbye.